Tell me your name and what you did on this ship.
James T. Platt, and I worked on the Orleck back in I was there when she was launched. My dad was a shipwright. He used plywood to cut out the patterns by which the steel plates were placed on the ship. The thing that made this one different from, I forget what class this is in.
This is a gearing.
Daring, okay. When the keel was laid, midships, they separated them and put in another frame that was 7 feet apart. That gave them that much more fuel space.
So that's what made part of what made the gearing different
Yeah.
from the previous class. Mm-hmm. Did they build any other classes at Orange?
Now that I don't know. Well, there was a sister ship that was launched at the same time, but I don't remember the name of that one. I had just finished high school, and that was my first job after that. It was exciting for a 17-year-old to work on a warship.
So how long did you work out there?
About a year, maybe a little bit longer.
Maybe. How many ships do you think you worked on?
Oh. At least a half a dozen. But part of them were the destroyers, destroyer escorts. Mm-hmm. They were converted into troop carriers. Around the main deck, there was a 1/2-inch stainless steel just to protect the sailors or the troops that were being transported.
So what did your job entail?
They call me Hey Boy.
Like, hey boy.
Yeah.
Come here.
In the cable house, we had to be sure that the cables were continuous. I mean, they were vital to the operation of the ship. There was a young fellow that was handicapped, and he and I would proofread all of the installation and instruction manuals for all of the operating equipment on the ship, including gun mounts, the whole works. That took a lot of time. We took turns, reading, and the other one watching.
So, do you know of any others who are still with us who worked at the shipyard, who live in the area?
Seems like there was 2 ladies.
Well, there's a Miss Rosalie Miller. She's in her 90s.
Okay.
And her, I believe it's her son or grandson. I spoke to him recently. She came out for her 90th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was a while back. Mr. Ford, no, Mr. Dodd. Frank, I think it's Frank Dodd. He was a welder. Lives in Kinder, and he visits us pretty regular. There's a couple of others who were like, I guess like millwrights, steel workers, sheet metal workers, and so forth. Forget what they call them that have been out here. And it's really neat sometimes when folks do come, because there's not many of y'all left who can tell the story to the young folks. We'll have on occasion we've had a tour group here, like a field trip from one of the schools, and that person's been able to tell them about what it was like to help build the ship. And we have several people that have served on the ship, and we have some come by every week. And a lot of times it's the same thing. They get to share their stories with other visitors here, or the young folks coming through. It's really, really neat.
Now, one of my supervisors was a guy named Venable. I don't remember what his first name was, but it was under him that I worked in the cable loft. And there was only one time that I was able to be on the ship when it was being tested, and that was on a Sunday. They used weights put on one side, they picked it up, moved it to the other side to see about, what do you call it?
Listing?
Yeah.
The list.
Yeah. I missed the sea trial because somebody higher up got that privilege, and I haven't forgiven them yet.